Hi yogis, it's Suzanne coming to you from my home yoga studio. I have a flow for you today, and this one is inspired by Anjali Mudra. This is the hand placement we often will find with the palms together, resting at the heart. Sometimes there are other places as well. This mudra, this name, is tied to Patanjali, who is the collector of the sutras. So you may have heard of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Interesting enough, Anjali is in Patanjali's name. It's thought to be attributed to his mother. So as the story goes, there was a very devout woman who prayed to Vishnu, one of the major gods, one of the major deities, and prayed and prayed and prayed to be blessed with a child. It's said that she was prone with her hands in a prayer position, praying and praying and praying, and Vishnu wanted to reward her for her devotion. So he sent down Patanjali for her, and Pat means to fall, and Anjali is into praying hands. And so that's where we get Patanjali's name. So in this practice today, we will find Anjali Mudra, which is somewhat accessible. Most of us can find that. But we will also work on reverse Anjali, where we take the prayer hands behind the back, which takes a little shoulder opening to get to. So for our practice today, you will need a strap or something that you can substitute for a strap. You might like a blanket and a block as well, although you can probably get away without having those. So let's start as we always do with the breath. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe let the eyes close, let the shoulders roll down the back. When you feel the body settle, take a deep inhale and exhale to let it go. And start to find a cadence of the breath, finding an equal breath. And if you'd like, finding ujjayi breath, that gentle constriction through the nasal passage and through the throat. And as we settle in, as we find our breath, you might like to find intention as well. Maybe the devotion of Patanjali's mother spoke to you, and you'd like to welcome that energy to your practice today. What are you devoted to? What would you prostrate yourself and pray for? Is there someone who has been devoted to you that you would like to honor with your energy, your thoughts, your movement, your practice today? Whatever it is, welcome that intention to your heart. And let the hands come beside the body. And on an inhale, reach the arms towards overhead. And as you exhale, bring those hands together in that Anjali Mudra, in that prayer position, and pull it all into the heart. Settling intention in, claiming it for your practice. When you're ready, a little drop of the chin and blink the eyes open, and I'll invite you to find your strap. So we're starting in a seated posture, and certainly if you need to elevate or support those hips, find and unwind your strap. Excuse me. You'll take the strap into both hands, and I would start a little wider than shoulders distance, but you can adjust as we go. The whole point here is to get some movement and some warm up in the shoulder. So you may go wider or more narrow. You may add a soft bend in the elbow, kind of keep the work here at the shoulder. So sitting nice and tall, we'll link to the breath. On an inhale, start to reach the arms overhead, maybe have a little tension on the strap. And as you exhale, release the arms behind you. And do that again. Inhale, reach the arms towards overhead. And as you exhale, release. Do it a few more times. Inhale to reach. Exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Good. This time, reach those arms towards overhead, keeping the strap in the right hand, and I'll mirror you. I want you to reach that right arm up to the sky and then bend the elbow. Left hand's going to reach under, doesn't matter where, but I want you to find a little pull down of the strap, getting a little tension through the tricep, maybe through the armpit, through the breast tissue. Sit up tall if you can. Take an inhale. Good. And then exhale, release. You can let go of the strap behind you. That right hand's going to rest down to the floor. Left arm will reach up and over. Take a little side bend. And then get nice and tall. Turn and find the twist. Hand might come to thigh. Shifts might hip. Hips might shift. Maybe it feels good to turn the head. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, unwind. We'll shift back to a seated position. Take your feet to the floor, knees up, hands behind. I'm just going to shift to the side so you can see a little bit better. The hands will come behind you. Fingertips will point roughly towards the hips. You can be as wide as you want here. Roll the shoulders, broaden through the collarbone. Take a big lift through the chest. And then keeping that lift, just bend the elbows so you feel a little sensation through the shoulders. Now, as we're working with the shoulders today, be kind. If you need to omit or be really soft or modify, be sure to do that. On an inhale, start to come out and then find your way back to that seated position. If you can, switching the shin that's forward. If you're not sure which one it is, take the awkward one forward. And then sit tall, find the breath again, maybe check into intention. Let the hands come beside the body. Inhale, sweep the arms towards overhead. Exhale, bringing those hands to anjali mudra at the heart. Just checking in with intention once more. If the eyes are closed, drop the chin and blink the eyes open. We'll find that strap again. So the strap comes into the hands. Maybe you go a little more narrow. Maybe you feel like you need to go wider than the last time. We'll do another round. On an inhale, reach the arms towards overhead. And as you exhale, pull the arms back. And maybe this time bending those elbows. Inhale to reach. And then exhale, come forward. Do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. The whole point here is to start some work through the shoulders, so find a place where you can target. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. And now reach those arms towards overhead. The strap stays in that left hand. Left arm reaches to the sky. Bend the elbow. Right hand's going to go under. Find a little pull down just so you get some interesting tension through that tricep. Sit up tall as you breathe. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, release. That left hand comes down to the ground. Right arm might reach up and over. Take a little side bend. Get tall and take the twist. Heart is open, maybe turning the head if it feels good on the neck. Hips can always shift in the twist to take the load off the sacrum, this SI joint. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to unwind, shifting back to that seated posture, feet about hips distance, hands about shoulder width, fingertips forward, lift and open through the chest, and then a little or maybe a big bend in the elbows, opening through the shoulders. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, release, shifting forward, finding your way towards downward facing dog. Now, as you set up, you might like that strap to the top of the mat. If you have a block, that's about where it will be. If you want a little cushion on the knees, add that blanket underneath the knees. Certainly a few cat-cows might feel good here, whatever your body needs. And eventually we'll meet in down dog if that's available. All fours if you prefer. If you are in down dog, I will invite you for today to maybe walk the hands just a little bit wider than you normally find. You can even turn the hands out a bit. See if you can create a little more space, a little more room for the shoulders. If that doesn't feel right, feel free to come back to your normal width, but maybe play with that today just a little bit. When you're ready, step the right foot forward towards the top of the mat, bringing the back knee down. Hands will come up to the heart, finding your way to that Anjali mudra. Make sure you have a sturdy and stable stance here. Make any adjustments that you need. And then hands come beside the body 3 times. Inhale, sweep the arms towards overhead. And as you exhale, elbow wide, roll the shoulders back. Do that twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now bring the hands to the heart. Drop the shoulders. Just create lots of space through the neck. And then with the hands pressing together, start to push the fingertips up towards overhead. You might want to be more on a diagonal if that feels better on the neck and the shoulders. Or if you have the space, start to reach the arms towards overhead. Add a little pressure between the hands. Stay active in that front knee. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring the hands down. Great place to use the block. Shift back, pull back into half splits. Flex through the foot, press through the tail, heart reaches forward. Take an inhale, exhale, soften forward. Coming back to that down dog shape and maybe finding that like wider look today. A little wider through the arms. If you want to go wider in the feet, you can. The whole point is to try to find some space through the shoulders. When you're ready, stepping forward with that left foot, back knee will come down. Coming up to the top, take a moment, find your balance, checking with that Anjali mudra. Every time you bring those hands to Anjali mudra, you can come back to those thoughts of devotion. Hands come beside the body 3 times. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, and as you exhale, roll those shoulders back. Twice more. Inhale to reach. Exhale, roll. Inhale, reach. Exhale, roll. Now bring those hands to the heart. Try to keep, the shoulders gentle. And then press the fingertips towards overhead. On the diagonal works great. Find a little push through those hands. Take an inhale. As you exhale, hands come down, shift back, pull back into that half splits, flex the foot, reach through the heart. Take an inhale. As you exhale, soften forward, stepping back to your downward facing dog shape. Maybe that's a little wider today. We'll be off the knees for a little bit, so if you want to take that blanket out from underneath, you can. So this time the right foot steps forward, setting up for warrior 1. So the back heel spins down. Bring your strap up when you come. Coming up, finding your way, warrior 1. So we'll find that similar action that we had when we were seated. Have that strap nice and wide if you need it. Shoulders a little bit soft. And on an inhale, sweep the arms towards overhead. And as you exhale, reach the hands back. And do it again. Inhale to reach. Exhale, coming back. Inhale to reach. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Good. So this time the strap stays in the left hand. Left arm reaches up. Elbow bends. Right hand comes under. And find a little pull down. Sink into the knee. Little openness through the chest. Gently release, but take the strap behind you. And for this first round, have the thumbs point towards one another. Roll the shoulders away. Create a little space through the back. Hands will be start at about hips distance, and then decide if you want to go wider or more narrow. Kind of make sure you find a place that fits your shoulders. If you have the space, lift the hands away just a little bit. On an inhale, lift and open the heart. And as you exhale, come forward towards humble warrior, keeping that chest open. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, go ahead and release the strap towards the top of the mat, stepping back to your down dog, maybe that wider expression. And then left foot steps forward. Bring the back heel down, coming up to warrior one. Strap comes in the hands, so you can do the same flossing we did the first time, or you can add the bend of the elbow if you prefer. On an inhale, reach the arms towards overhead. Exhale, reaching the hands back or pulling back. Inhale to reach. Exhale, come down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, little pull. Inhale to reach. Exhale down. One more time. Now this time that left arm reaches up all the way up to the ceiling. Bend the elbow and find a little pull down. Take a moment, sink in and breathe. Now, go ahead and release the strap, but take the hands behind you. This time the thumbs point out. Start at about hips distance and then go more narrow or more wide, if whatever you need space for. If you have the space, lift the hands away from the hips. Inhale, a little lift to the heart, maybe lean back, and then come forward towards that humble warrior. Legs stay super strong. Take an inhale, exhale, release the strap. Stepping back, finding your way to your downward facing dog. So this time, right foot steps forward, coming to that warrior one. Take the hands beside the body, and then 3 times. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, a little roll the shoulders back. Do it again. One more time. So this time, hands either come to back pockets or maybe you're ready to clasp. Take a second, sink into that right knee, lift through the heart, big inhale. Exhale, bow forward, humble warrior. Do that twice more. Legs stay strong. Inhale, lean it back, little lift through the fists. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, fold and pause. Release those hands. Step back to your downward facing dog. One more time on the second side. Left foot steps forward. Step to that warrior one. Let the hands drape beside the body. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, little roll. Do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come behind the back, either to back pockets or clasp. You might take the opposite thumb on top. Little roll of the shoulders, lengthen if you have that space, maybe a little lift. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, bow forward. Twice more, legs strong. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale to lift. Exhale to bow. Just a couple breaths here. Release the hands, step back, finding downward facing dog. Staying here or taking a moment in another restful shape. Maybe that's a child's pose or kneeling, forward fold. As you're here, if you're in a seated posture, maybe take the hands to the heart in that anjali mudra. If you're in down dog or child's pose, just imagine that space at the heart, bringing focus to your intention, to your devotion. When you're ready, drop the chin, blink the eyes open, coming back to your downward facing dog. You might like that block within reach if you have one. This time, right foot steps forward. Let's start in warrior one again. Back heel down. Arms go wide like you're going to give someone a hug. Give yourself a hug with that right arm on top. You can stay here with that little squeeze of the shoulder heads, or if it's available, intertwine those arms for eagle. Take an inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Hands will come to the hips and bump up the back legs so you have two pretty straight legs. The hips and heart start to sort of squarish forward. They might not be all the way square. That's okay. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lengthen towards a tabletop shape. Pause with hands to the thigh and propel the heart, the crown forward. If you want to go further a little bit more, bow over that right leg. Use the block or frame the foot with the hands. On an inhale, bring the heart back up to tabletop. And if you have that block, take the hand to the block. Any height will do, so find a height that works for you. Right hand comes to the back hip. I want you to roll the shoulders away. If you have the space, that right hand might reach around towards the hip crease. Roll the shoulder and then push into the block. Let the hips shift. Come into a little twist here. Keep that hand behind the back for today if you can. And maybe it's up on the pocket. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to unwind. Soften into the knee. Step back to your down dog, maybe a little wider today. Left foot steps forward. Bring that back heel down, coming up to that warrior one shape. Arms wide, left arm on top with a big hug, maybe a hug of the shoulder heads. And if you have this space, intertwine the arms. We're looking to get into the shoulders. So if this hug gets you into a better space, stay there. If you feel something interesting that you like in the eagle, then go there. Take an inhale, exhale, release the hands to the hips. Bump that back leg up so you have two straight legs. Start to lengthen forward. Hands come to the top of the thigh. Propel and lengthen the spine forward. If you want, go further into the fold. Come up to tabletop. Right hand comes to the block. Left hand will come to the hip, or maybe you have the space to wrap it back. Roll both shoulders back, press, maybe let those hips roll a little bit, come into the twist. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to unwind, soften into the knee, stepping back towards that down dog shape. Let's go one more time. Right leg reaches up. Step through to your warrior one. Back heel spins down. Come all the way up to that warrior one. Arms wide, right arm on top. Give yourself that hug. Maybe intertwine. As you're here, you might play with pushing the hands forward or pulling the hands back, if it's okay with the shoulder. You might play with letting the elbows drop down. Just see how the shoulders respond. See what you feel. Take an inhale. As you exhale, release the hands, bring them to the hips. Bump up the back leg so you have two straight legs. So from here, we're going to come into reverse anjali. So hands can come either to the back pockets, or you can bring the hands onto the back, bringing palms together, fingertips point up, heels of the hands come together. Drop the shoulders, lift the heart. You might stay here. If you want to bow forward, come forward towards a tabletop. Just keep the little lift in those shoulders, lengthen that spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, release the left hand to the block. Right hand can stay where it is, or it can come like to the hip or to either hip. Turn the heart. Now, if you want, release that right arm, maybe up to the sky, maybe out to the side. Take an inhale, exhale, release, soften the knee, step back to your downward facing dog. One more time, left foot steps forward, bring that back heel down all the way up to warrior one. Arms wide, left arm on top for the hug, maybe intertwine those arms. Take a moment to play if you have space. Might be like really subtle movements, especially if you are a little tighter in the shoulders. That's okay. Take an inhale, exhale, release. Bring the hands to the hips. Bump up the back leg. Two straight legs. Hands to back pockets, getting the hands on the back of the body. Or find your way to that reverse prayer position. Lift the heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, maybe come forward towards that tabletop. Release that right hand to the block. Left hand might stay where it is, or it might wrap a little bit. Drop those shoulders and then turn the heart. Maybe let the hips roll. Come into the twist. If you'd like, release that left arm in line with the shoulder. So it might be more out to the side. Maybe it's up to the sky. Take an inhale, exhale, release, soften the front knee. Step back, find your way to downward facing dog. So let's play a little bit with that Anjali Mudra. Right foot steps forward, coming into high lunge. So feet are about hips distance, back heel and knee are lifted. You can come from warrior one if that feels more stable for you. So from here, either take the hands behind the back on the back pockets to a clasp behind the back or to that reverse prayer shape. Now you can stay here, take a moment, a little lean back, a little back bend. Or if you want to play with balance, start to shift forward, plug the right hip, lift up towards your warrior three. Shoulders buoyant, heart is open. Take an inhale, exhale, soften back down. Find your way to the lunge or warrior one. Maybe reach the arms wide or towards overhead. Take a little relief there. Take an inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Come to that high lunge. Certainly warrior one would be okay if you wanted that stability. Take your pick, wherever your body is sort of agreeing to be today. Hands to back pockets, clasping, finding that reverse prayer, that reverse anjali. Take a moment, a little lean back, a little open of the heart. And then if you want, come forward, lift up towards warrior three. Releasing down, maybe release those arms, take a little break. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Step back to your down dog. If you're in that wide down dog stance, you might walk the hands to in more of a regular stance or shoulder width about stance. Come forward into plank and lower to the front of the body. Take a moment here. Maybe stack the hands and just rest. Maybe windshield wiper the feet. Come up, find your way into a Sphinx posture. Just taking a moment to be in a back bend shape. This might be more than enough for you today, and you're more than welcome to stay here. If you'd like, bend that or place that left forearm across the body onto the mat and start to bend and straighten the right knee a few times just to prime up the joint. And then keep that knee bent, right hand reaches back, and you might play with holding the outside of the foot, or because of some of the work we've done today, you might hold the inside arch. Pick a spot where your shoulder feels good. Ground through the left foot and then add a little kick away. Take an inhale, exhale, release. Feel free to come down in between sides if you'd like, or just take a moment to pause in your Sphinx. And then if you want, that right forearm comes across the body. Start to prime up that left knee. Just take a few bends and straightens. Left knee stays bent. Right hand reaches back. Maybe you hold the blade edge of the foot, or maybe you move to the arch edge today. Ground through the right foot and then kick away and open through the heart. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to release. Pause for a moment in that symmetrical Sphinx shape if you'd like. Coming back down, bringing the hands down, resting the head if you'd like. Shimmy the hips or windshield wiper those feet. So when you're ready, I'll have you transition to be reclined. You might like to pause and take a moment in a down dog or a child's pose first. Totally okay. And then when you do come onto your back, have a block or maybe a folded blanket available to you. Take a moment here to calibrate just to make sure you feel grounded and secure. And if you can, broaden through the collarbone, slide the shoulder blades onto the back without squishing the back. Try to keep a little space there. And then feet to the floor, knees up, lift through the hips, come in to a supported bridge shape. Now this might be enough, and especially if you've had enough on your shoulders today, You might just stay here with the arms nice and open and pause. The next option will be to add a little supported shoulder stand. So taking those legs up in the air, you can have a bend if you'd like, or straight. Feet can be wherever they want to be, just have them be active. And again, you can keep the shoulders out of this work if you want, or turn the palms down, maybe hold the edge of the mat and tuck the shoulders under a bit. My body doesn't do it, but I know some do. You can maybe clasp the hands around the block. And certainly if shoulder stand is part of a healthy practice for you, a happy practice for you, feel free to come down off of the block and set up for that posture. Some of the work we've done today will really contribute and work for that today. If you can, stay for 5 or 10 breaths more. Certainly at any time you can bring the feet back down to the earth. Stay a few breaths more if you'd like, but when you are ready, start to soften the knees, bringing the feet back down. If you clasped or held or held the mat, open the arms out wide. Give them a little release. And then in your time, lift through the hips, come back down to the mat and pause. You might knock the knees or find a little movement. And then just like we did in the warrior pose, open the arms wide and give yourself a hug with that right arm on top. And we won't eagle the arms unless you're like really wanting that right now. Just give yourself this little hug here. You can kind of imagine the person that's devoted to you giving you a nice big bear hug here. And then inhale, open the arms out wide and do it again, but with the left arm on top. Or just switch the arm that's on top there. Release the arms wide. Maybe add a windshield wiper of the knees, just a little softness through the hips, through the middle of the body. And when you're ready, hug the knees into the chest. You can hug in nice and tight or behind the thighs. Take a moment to collect yourself. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to lengthen the legs, starting to find your way to a Shavasana shape. And before you set the arms, I'll invite you to take the hands at the heart in that anjali mudra, that prayer mudra. Just one more consideration, one more thought around devotion. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let the arms release beside the body wherever they feel most comfortable. If there's anything else you'd like to add here to make this a really happy Shavasana, go ahead and do that, adding layers or a little pillow. And when you do settle, take a deep inhale and let it go. So I will leave you here. As you settle in, you might set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes for Shavasana. I do want to thank you for joining me today for this Anjali-inspired practice. I appreciate your time and energy here on the mat. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Namaste.